Today, this is the last day of the festival. We're going to start with Izmir In Our Soul. It's going to be a presentation with photos by Rachel and Denise. Yesterday, we already had the opportunity to meet them and to listen to them. And now we're going to continue with these personal testimonies about a city that is so important because there's a shared history for Rachel and Denise connected with this Turkish city. Something that I would like to remind you, we have here on this table several books, most of them poetry books by Denise León. Please take advantage of this opportunity because these books are not available here in the US. So she brought them from Argentina, and now they are available here for you. So take a look, and if you're interested, please let us know. Now, let's start with Rachel and Denise. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming here on your Sunday. It's really what a wonderful festival this has been. So we talked a lot about Izmir. That's where Denise's grandparents came from, and that's where I came from, directly. So let's start with some pictures, if I may. The technical team, I hope, will project my first one to tell you. Is it coming? Yeah. Okay. I'm watching it. I'm here this time. I don't have to do this. Okay. This is the location of the city of Izmir. As you see, it's sort of across the sea from Greece, from Athens. So let's take a little closer look. Oops. How come? Just a minute. The next one. What's the next one that you have? Coming. Okay, I just don't know if I have all of them here. Oh yes, I have the aerial view that of the bay. It's a bay. The city is around a bay, and I have the aerial view for a purpose because you see the darker parts are mountains. And you see that in one point on the south side of the bay, the mountains come very close to the edge of the water. And there is really, it used to be that there was just one street between the mountains and the water, and with houses on the water. And that's not the way it is, as I will show you in a minute, today. But when Denise speaks of where her parents come from, it is in the area sort of inland that is again on the south side of the bay, but more inland is now the old it's the old settlement of Izmir. It has a very old history, including a very old Jewish history before the Spanish Jews arrived. And that's called the Juderia. I have a picture to show you where we're talking about. The next one I have is this one, you're correct. I put the picture of the ferry boat because there is to go across to the other side of the bay, which is another city, really, but there were Jews also there on the north side of the bay. But it's a fun place to go if you ever go there, to take the ferry and go to that side also. There are ferries that go back and forth, but we're talking about the south side of the bay. Sort of, it goes northeast, but I call it all the south side of the bay. So it's a little inland where Denise is talking about, whereas where I'm talking about, here, I show you. This I took from the gentleman who's doing this reconstruction of the old Juderia. Juderia, the Jewish quarter, and it was the area of the first settlement of the Spanish Jews when they arrived, which was not in 1492, but about 100 years later. And there's a reason for that, and that's because Izmir at the time was not a very important city, but then as soon as they discovered that it worked very well as a port, they started transferring Jews, Sephardic Jews, from other places, and also Romaniote Jews from other places to come and settle in this area. And if you go to Izmir and you take a Jewish tour, this is the area that you will be seeing. And as you will see, that's also the area where Denise went when she went, and she'll tell you about that. This is the way Izmir looks today. Very different from the Izmir that I knew it. Let's go to the next one. This is, I just want to make sure it's the same one. This is how it looked when I grew up, and this is my neighborhood, my area neighborhood. If you notice, I marked a tower there called the Ascenseur. This is a unique structure, so far as I know, anywhere in the world, except they showed me that it was modeled after a tower in Portugal, but it's different. This was built, first of all, by a Jewish man called Nessim Levi, and it was built in 1907 for the express purpose of taking people from the lower side of the city up the elevator to the mountain, where there were also a lot of people, including a lot of Jews. Now they're calling this area the second Juderia. But in the first one, it was like 90% Jewish. There were other people also. We were never forced to have our own quarters. It's just that people just like to be close to the synagogue and so on. Like here, not very different. So the next one is a little, which one do you have next? Yeah, is a little close-up of that Ascenseur area. And you will see on the right side, is it your, okay? If you can notice a little cupola, that's the synagogue, the biggest synagogue in Izmir, and it's called Bet Israel, and my house was just a few doors down from it. I don't have a way of showing it, but anyway, it's there. You will see another picture. What do you have there? Where's that one? Next. This is just a close-up. We used to swim. We used to just jump off the edge of it and swim in the bay. And this is the Ascenseur as it looks today. And at the entrance of the Ascenseur, you see the inscription. What is special about it? It has Hebrew letters, right? And it says in there, in French, it says, Ascenseur construit par Monsieur Nissim Lévy en 1907. In French, in 1907, in Hebrew letters, Ascenseur Hebrew letters, but not in Hebrew. Ascensor fraguada por Nissim Levi en 5668. So that is, what do you call that, an important point of reference for that area. But it's, and when you go up the ascensor, there's a restaurant there and you have a wonderful view. Did you go up there?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. You see the whole bay from there. So just a little touristic thing. Then we have that picture that was taken of me in 1992 when I was there, and a gentleman published a book of my visit and so on. So it was there, and this is the way the street looked there then, and just a year before, this street had a number. All small streets have numbers in Izmir. But in 1992, this was, the name was changed to Dario Moreno Street. And we can go to the next one. This is me just last March. Just last month, actually. March. Dario Moreno Street. This is a bust of Dario Moreno, a Jewish person who grew up in the street, in this street, and went on to become a famous singer and movie star in Paris. So the city of Izmir is the most Western-oriented, most European city in Turkey, both in looks and also in general mentality. They do not support Erdogan, not to start politics at this point, but anyway, so they love their Jewish history and to promote it, and that's why the city is helping the reconstruction of the old synagogues in the first Juderia. So that's something special. This is a view, the next one, please. Yeah, this is a view from the ascensor, from the top, today. You can see that there are no small houses like the ones I grew up in. My house now is a very ugly apartment building. Not only that, if you remember the first picture where I showed of Izmir today, is in front of what those little escalas, we used to call it, from which we jumped into the sea to swim, that has all been turned into a highway. So in my time, being from Izmir meant you were a child of the sea. We were there, right in front of the water. Now the connection of the city to the sea has been cut off with this enormous highway that they built, they filled in from the sea. So anyway, people still think it's a pretty city because of the situation there, but it's sorry that all that, they could have done something really special with that side. Instead, now they're doing something special with the first Juderia, which is also okay. What do we have next? I don't know if I have the, I think that's all that I had something. Where is, there? Yes, the top view of the Juderia. Do you have that one? Just to help transmit the transition. Thank you. The transition to Denise's story. Here in this one, this is a view of my. I'm glad you showed that one. I didn't have it here for this. Here you're looking from the ascensor to the to the Bet Israel synagogue. I was married there in the synagogue. It is beautiful. It holds 400 people. And across the street from the synagogue is the Bnei Berit elementary school, the Jewish school where I attended. It was, Bnei Berit is what they call here Bnei Brith, but that was just the name of the school. And the yard where we went out to play had a fence, just a grating, so that we wouldn't fall into the water as we played. It was right there. So anyway, but I went to see I have one after. I have a couple of pictures of the Juderia. I think that comes next. Oh yeah, that's not that one. No. That's Bet Israel synagogue from the street, the way it was and the way the houses showed. There's one like an aerial view of the old Juderia. Let me see, just keep going, I'll tell you. Keep going, what you have. Oh, that's our wedding. Oh, go back, that's interesting, I think. That's my husband and me. And then, in the next one, in our wedding, in the same spot, I'm standing in the same spot in this last March in the synagogue. And all the names, everything that looks like Hebrew, it's really Spanish, except Shaddai, something like that. But donadores, it says donadores del Cajal or something like that, as the donors' names that have been inscribed. This synagogue was opened in 1907 also, the same, but it's the newest one. And it is amazingly beautiful inside. Yes. I don't know why they came out so small. Anyway, this is me in my last visit there inside the synagogue. It was all the woodwork, Herschel, was made by Italian. It's mahogany, and it was made by Italian. They had imported in Italian artisans. It's all carved beautifully. It has two tevats with the hal in the middle. This is unusual for Sephardic synagogues in that the teva is not in the middle, but at one end. And also, this one does not, the hal, the sanctuary, or whatever you call the hal, we call it. What is the hal in the ark, thank you, is not, it does not face east, but it faces south. Jerusalem is south of us. So, go on, please. My picture. Oh, this is me visiting the area of the old Juderia where now mostly it's shops, but this particular street is where my mother used to go to buy fish. So all the way down when she could, because it was far for us, you had to go by tram first and then walk a lot to get there. Go on, let me see what we have there. Okay, this one is interesting. This, again, this is for a transition to what Denise is going to talk about. This street here, this is a picture from 1900, I think. I took it from a book. And it's called Synagogue Street. Why? Because there are 3 synagogues on this street, but there are about 5 more around those 3. And this is the area where they're restoring the street. And you will notice that at the end of the street, there is a mosque, right? At the end of Synagogue Street, there's a mosque. Just to show you that it wasn't really all Juderia. And on the left, and the more newer picture, is that mosque and that street again. Okay, let's go on. I think that's what I wanted. Yeah, this is what I wanted. And this is the area of the Juderia around the synagogue street where Denise and her father and her family visited. Okay, it's all yours.